Hi, this is yours and only Monica with the K, and we are on the next following discussion that actually deals with standing up to the bully and finally express what has been kind of boiling inside of you, what you have been blindly denying inside of yourself. And so after we realize that we have been really pleasing these bullying beings, constantly pleasing them by being overly nice, by bringing them gifts, by doing things for them, by covering up for them. Okay, I keep going with the explanation of the kitchen, because one of the explanation with the kitchen is that, let's say that you live somewhere where somebody constantly dirties the kitchen beyond handleable because they use oils and dirty stuff to cook, fried things, and you are in their presence. And you cook your clean stuff, you cook your vegetables. And so what happens is that imagine that you are sharing this kitchen with them. Okay, you're sharing the space and you're sharing the kitchen with them. And they are constantly dirtying the kitchen, and you are constantly cleaning it. Okay, so you are constantly going after them and sweeping, and you are cleaning the dirty oily pots, and you are scratching the oily dirty pots of the field. You are organizing the dishes, so you are doing the work for them, right? You are cleaning everything for them because you want to keep that space clean for yourself. And what happens is they love that you do this because they are bullying you, and you feel like you have to please them because there is just something inside of you that you learn in childhood, this submissive kind of behavior that is really wasting so much of our energy, because we are attracting these kind of situations where we become the victim. So we are learning, and this is why I want to create a center where we are together are going to be learning the healthy behaviors. We have to learn the healthy behaviors, but first we have to realize the unhealthy behaviors. First we have to literally go through the situations again and ask God, what am I doing wrong in the situation? How am I bringing, how am I allowing this to keep going on? And so God has been actually explaining how we are letting this go on, because we are cleaning after them. Okay, what are the lawyers doing for the business people? The lawyers are cleaning up the mess. What are the accountants doing? Okay, cleaning up the mess, cleaning up the numbers for the big corporations. What are the nurses doing? They are cleaning up after the people who did not take care of themselves, and they became so needy. Okay, and I'm not talking about all the people, okay, but from what I have right now, in moment of now in 2015, what I have been facing and seeing, and how people become so, they love to give orders. Sick people love to give orders. Dark people of darkness, they love to give orders because we have been submissive to their energy. We have been following them. We have been their followers. Okay, nurses go to them because they create. I don't really think that nowadays there is a nurse who gets up in the morning, unless she's a young girl, and says, I want to help older people. But many nurses, they want to do it for money. Okay, so they go to nurse schools, and next thing you realize, they are working 24 hours for sick people there is no energy in them. The reason why these beings became such beings is there is a reason behind it. There is that life cycle that led them to become such beings. And to help them is not by taking orders, not by just standing there. Oh, tell me what do you want me to do? Because I have been in so many situations where I was helping, and for free, for free. It's been always, in a majority of the time, for free. And God has been teaching me that enough is enough. God has been letting me realize what I have been doing in those situations, how I allowed myself to become a victim. So when I am in an environment where somebody dirties the kitchen and they cook with the oils and they dirty the kitchen, let them clean after themselves. Let them clean up. Okay? It's that's just how it is. And we feel sorry for certain people, we feel sorry for older people, but if we realize that they are making all this mess, and we could invest all this energy into the youth and the young generations. The older people are becoming out of control. The ones that are on a prescription drugs with all these side effects, they are out of control. They are giving us orders, they're expecting us to do things, so they dirty the kitchen and they expect you to just clean up. It is the same thing what is happening in the system. They make a mess, okay? There is a pedophile, there is a sexual molester who makes publicly mess, okay? And somebody is there cleaning up. Somebody is going to be writing in the reports that it never happened. Somebody is going to be hiding the reports. Somebody is not going to call you back as you think that that particular government agency is created for handling crimes and so forth. So you actually are dealing with a certain injustice. So you feel as to call this agency because the agency was created to handle such claims, so justice can be brought up. But it is just a very cover up. That's just like a banging at the, you are knocking on the door and there is nothing behind the door. It's almost like let's say, oh, here's the government house, and you're knocking on the door, but there is, like, if you really open the door, there is nobody there. There is no staff actually handling the situation. It is just all the voicemail system. So you are sent through these different systems to the different agencies, and you are like, hold on, what is really happening? Like, nobody's answering phones. I want to deal with this injustice. The same thing dealing with police in a sexual harassment. They do not follow up. And so what we have to do is we have to keep on going. We cannot just stop somewhere. And so standing up to the bully, it's like we are learning how to stand up without really going over the board, because when imagine all this energy is boiling in you, and you have been so pleasant and you have been pleasing somebody and submissive, and you get to the point where they like push you one more time, you are just going to, like, all that energy just wakes up in you. It's been boiling, and then it comes up, and it comes whichever way. So we are actually learning by going through a different kind of annoying individuals. We are actually learning how to properly react, and this way we are cleaning up these kind of barky energies that we didn't speak at the particular time. We did not speak up and stand up, I would say fairly, like it would be a fair face-off. So let's say if a sexual harasser crosses you, you would be standing face to face to him and telling him, don't you ever do that, okay? What we do is when that happens, when something of that energy comes over you, in a childhood you reacted by doing this, kind of like submissing. So, and to them, they went even more, because that was kind of like inviting to them. You didn't fight back. So then it comes to the point where you're all the way on the floor and you punch them in their face and knock them out. That's the energy that we are walking with when we do not express. We are walking literally with this boxing energy. Like Like, if somebody keeps, you know, slapping you like 20 times, slapping you, and you just stand there and taking it, that slap actually transfers, that violent energy goes inside of you, and it's stored as an energy in your body. So then that violence would be, you just want to punch them back, but you are not doing it because you are under that behavior of submission, that once you really start asking God, that energy will be slowly expressed, so you would actually like scream here and there at people when they do something to you. And that's, you clean up your vocal cord, you clean it up, because it's like it's coming up, all these heavy energies are coming up through the vocal cords. All those words that you wanted to say, they are stored there. Everything that you meant to say but you didn't say, it creates, it's an energy that was unexpressed, and it stays inside of you. And so when you are really expressing, then it has that much power when it's coming out. So we are learning to finally find a way to express it correctly. And one way that I am actually allowing this energy to be expressed, it's through these videos, it's through all the songs that I have been recording. It's that energy inside of me went through this very mic that I'm using, and it's old mic, okay? It's like a $40 mic that is connected to this computer. And when those energies come over me, I find a beat and I take a deep breath, and it comes into a song. And that song, actually, then I listen to it over and over and over, and that way actually I give myself a certain understanding, certain determination comes to a party, because I suddenly hear myself. I suddenly hear that inner voice. I suddenly hear that little child that wanted to scream out, that wanted to do something about anything happening, about any lies and manipulations. When God whispers to me what is happening around me, and I am not able to speak up when I see an individual screaming, yelling at a little child in a car, and I'm not able to make that 20 more steps and run to the window and tell him, don't you ever do that to a child, or to call 911. That is the very thing that we are right now slowly coming out of that sleep. We are slowly awakening these energies of warriors of just beings who want to bring justice to this world. So we do not, this anger does not come out of us as a violently, so we actually, then they have it against us that we are violent, because, oh, now she's violent, because this energy, you didn't allow it, you know, it wasn't, it didn't come out the natural way. It was too much of it. So we are literally learning how to use the stick shift, and how to put it on a 4, how to put it on a 3, consciously hear ourselves. Is our voice too loud, or is it too low? So while we are speaking to somebody, we are consciously learning to hear ourselves. Are we saying it the correct way, as God would love to say it? Okay? Not submissive and not too angry. So we are learning how to say it exactly, perfectly, as God is saying it through us. And it takes time. It does take time. But it's the most beautiful thing when you actually learn, or actually when we learn to channel, or when we learn that voice of God, that God's word of God, to finally come through us the most proper way, the most effective way. So that being, that bully that we are facing in a moment of now, that they would go sleep at night and they would actually think about it. They would actually go into like, hold on, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to start, you know, I need to check myself. That's what we are here to do. Show them that there is something incorrect in their way of being, and we are not afraid to face it. I love you guys, and we are willing to forgive and let it go.